All right, welcome back to the channel. It's your boy Fanon, and in this video, Gervonta Tank Davis chimes in on the fight that took place with Shakur Stevenson, but he did it in a response to Devin the Dream Haney, and all I can say is that's what you get for running your mouth. Just saying. Man, people in glass houses should not throw stones. But let's get into the specifics in this video. All right, welcome back to the channel. It's your boy Fanon, and in this video, man, we got people with some nerve out here in these streets. Flat out nerves. They got nerves. They got nerves. So as we know, Shakur Stevenson became the WBC world champion at lightweight by putting an entire arena. And I don't know how many people paid for that fight or watched that fight on a Thursday night, but putting the entire place to sleep. And I mean, everybody watching on ESPN was falling asleep on that fight. Oh man, it was just absolutely a stinker. But Devin Haney responds in a way that I thought was like, man, are you serious? Like, are for real you serious? He says that Shakur Stevenson is trash. And people shouldn't talk about anything about him being scared to fight Shakur Stevenson, and how he should have offered Shakur Stevenson 10% because he had offered to overpay him for the fight. Gervonta Davis then says, right back to Devin Haney, and I'm telling you, this was funny to me on a lot of different levels. Gervonta says, then I should be offering you, that's when I'm going to offer you, son, right? Like, man, I'm about to offer you 10%. Now, why is that so funny? Because it is so, like a lot of good humor, it's funny because it's true. It's funny because it's true. Now, before I get into the details, let me welcome you back to the channel. If you are new to the channel, please accept my invitation to hit the subscribe button, hit the bell icon so you can be notified of when we release more videos. And if you're a longtime subscriber and supporter of the channel, thank you so much for your continued support. It really makes a big difference to the channel. Thank you guys. Thank you guys. Thank you guys. All right. So Devin Haney is a boring fighter, man, most times. Like, Shakur Stevenson got in the ring and Shakur Stevenson was boring. No doubt. He didn't look like he couldn't fight. He just looked like he didn't fight. Not that he couldn't fight, that he didn't fight. He looked like something was not right as far as his faith in his ability to hurt and stand and fight Edwin De Los Santos, who, I got to tell you, had a back of a Brahma bull. Did not expect to see that, but Shakur Stevenson just stunk up the gym and got out of there with his belt. That's the only way that you can say it. He said, people were alluding to the fact that he wasn't, something wasn't right, that he wasn't feeling well. Hey, man, that happens in boxing, and when you don't feel right, which happens, you do what you got to do. You get the belt, you leave, and you live to excite people another day. That's what, Floyd Mayweather Jr. has said. So all of the criticisms about him being boring and all of that, very well deserved. Applause, applause, applause to everybody that says that was boring, because it was. Now, at a certain point in time, I started getting interesting because I realized that he wasn't going to be throwing any punches. And I started looking at the spacing. I started looking at the feints. I started looking at different things that were going on. Because all we really did is have a battle of the feet. And Shakur won the battle of the feet. But when Devin Haney jumped out there and called him trash, I thought to myself, man, what's the difference between him running and moving and running and moving and you punching, missing and grabbing, punching, missing and grabbing, punch, punch, grab, hold, push off, throw a punch? It's every bit as boring. It's every bit as boring. It is like fighting guys like Yuriokas Gamboa and not being able to stop Yuriokas Gamboa, the fight with JoJo Diaz. But other than the fight against the first fight with George Kambosos. The second fight with George Kambosos, he sat and he fought more with George Kambosos. The fight with Vasily Lomachenko was more exciting, was a good, exciting fight. Probably the one fight where I thought, yeah, okay, that was really a good fight. Shakur Stevenson, however, has had multiple fights where I thought that they were very good, engaging fights at 130 pounds. But whatever the case is, Gervonta Davis, and this is what I put out on Twitter and I maintain. Look, man, both those that was a battle of can't hit or can't hit, can't do nothing versus won't do nothing. And when Devin said what he said, I'm like, hold on, man, that's one boring fighter talking smack about another boring fighter. Neither one of those guys are making crowds jump up in their feet, man, talking about, woo, you're not going to confuse either one of those guys with Deontay Wilder. You're not going to confuse either one of those guys with Errol Spence or Canelo Alvarez or David Benavidez. I could go on and on and on about the fighters that are more exciting than Devin Haney and Shakur Stevenson. But here the thing is, they are both very, very good fighters, and it's going to be very difficult to beat them in the ring. They're boxers. That's what they do. They're going to need somebody to come forward to them with them a lot of time and sell out for them to give them the opportunities to really show a lot of the skills that they have. Gervonta, on the other hand, and this is the thing that I thought was really funny. Devin is saying to Shakur that he offered to overpay him. Bro, who are you? It's a mandatory. He was the mandatory. He gets a mandatory purse. You're not. I don't get why Devin Haney believes that he is Floyd Mayweather Jr. in his drawing power, or Canelo Alvarez, or Anthony Joshua, or Gervonta Davis, where he gets to talk about how much money he's going to be paying somebody and overpaying somebody. Where is this coming from? So for Gervonta to say, look, man, that's what I'm going to give you, is comedy on all kind of levels, because that's really the cash cow. Number one, he's the cash cow. Number two, he's the fighter. He's the cash cow because he's exciting and because people want to see him and people want to come to see him fight. Man, people, and I almost want to do a video about this, man. Karma is a mug. Man, get past that fight with Regis Prograis. Get past that fight with Regis Prograis without hugging, mugging, and grabbing and holding and slowing the fight down and pushing him off and throwing two punches, then grabbing him and jumping in and dang near headbutting him because you want to slide in and stop the action. The only difference is Shakur, not the only difference, the magnitude is a difference, but Shakur was just moving around and didn't let anything happen. Devin will grab you and hold you and keep the fight from doing anything and just make it ugly. They're both great fighters, and people are gonna have to appreciate them based off their abilities that they have in the ring and their ability to overcome the problem that they have in the ring, man. But neither one of these guys should be confused about Gervonta Davis. But I just think it's really wild that people will dump all over Gervonta. Oh, you're not fighting anybody. You're not doing anything. You've not taken the top challenges. Then they look at Shakur and say, even though he's knocking all these guys out, knocked out Mario Barrios, who's in line for a 147-pound championship. Knocked out Leo Santa Cruz, who's bigger than him and is a Hall of Famer. Knocked out Jose Pedraza, that I don't know of anybody else that's knocked out Jose Pedraza. Lomachenko didn't knock out Jose Pedraza. I don't think anybody else knocked out Jose Pedraza. And Jose Pedraza is a top-level fighter. But, it is what it is, man. People got a narrative for whatever. But anyway, that's my take on the matter. Please let me know what you think in the comment section. And with that, I'm out. Peace.